Loungy?
He's not well, mate.
You gotta do something.
Inspirations paint.
Yes.
Oh, it's Loungy, our lounge room paint project.
Right this way. Yeah, there, boy. I think Loungy here needs lots of fresh ideas and attention. Tell me about your lounge room.
Old Federation, high ceilings and dado rails.
What about an industrial meets Oxford scheme? What type of floor is it?
Polished floorboards.
Great. Brick wallpaper in the top section, dark colour down low. I'll take you through each step to make sure you get a great finish.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Vic.
Come on, Loungy. Kitchy.
Hello and welcome to Cessnock Sports Ground for this trial match between the Newcastle Jets and the Western Sydney Wanderers. Awesome to have your company. This stream brought to you by Inspirations Paint. And the Jets on a 5-match winning streak in the pre-season. Western Sydney, they're on a 4-match winning streak in their pre-season matches. Their most recent match, they lost to Melbourne City 4-1 in the FFA Cup on Wednesday night. Joining me in commentary, I've got a few up here. I've got Matteo Poliak from the Jets, Labano Haliti and Joel Goodsir from Inspirations Paint, and Dave Keating will also be joining us. And Matteo, big game for your side today.
Yeah, like you said, we're on a good streak. 5 games undefeated and pretty high results, to be fair. It's good to see boys scoring, and I think it's good to see one club as the Western Sydney Wanderers, who are a top club in the league, to have them against us, to actually test ourselves a bit more.
Yeah, and a good test against the Western Sydney Wanderers, the side that went to the grand final last year. Couldn't get the job done in Adelaide, but they've had a great few seasons in the A-League.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they showed since they were basically made 4 years now, 50 years ago, what a big club that is, and I think they have one plan from the start, and they're really executing it pretty well.
And Labano, for you guys this afternoon, the Jets. Beautiful weather up here at Cessnock for this match, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a great stadium. I think we trained here yesterday, and the training's in great condition, and I think it should be a great game. So we're looking forward to it, and obviously it's a good turnout here, and so yeah, hoping for a good game.
What was the pitch like yesterday for training? What was the surface like?
Yeah, the surface has been great. Obviously we trained here yesterday morning session, and it was great. So very happy with it.
We'll just go through the starting lineups for the Jets. In goals, Jack Duncan. Number 2, Daniel Mullen. 3, Jason Hoffman. 4, the captain, Nigel Bugard. 6, Stephen Ugarkovic. 7, Andrew Houle. 9, Alex Coco. 10, Wayne Brown. 15, Andrew Naboo. 16, Nick Cowburn. And 19, Morton Nordstrand. They're the starting 11 for the Jets. On the bench, number 1, Ben Kennedy. 5, Ben Kanarowski. 12, Andy Brennan. 17, Radovan Pavicevic. 22, Lachlan Jackson. 23, Devante Kloot. And 24, Christian Brymora. And for the Wanderers, in goals, starting goalkeeper is Jared Tyson. 2, Shannon Cole. 3, Jack Clisby. 10, Nicholas Martinez. 15, Kieran Backus. 18, Robbie Cornthwaite. 19, Jacob Melling. 22, Jonathan Aspro. 27, Emilio Martinez. 28, Lawrence Hanna. And number 29, Brenton Fox. They've got a very long bench, including 4, Nikolai Topper-Stanley, 20, Andrew Redmayne, 31, Abdul Rahman Kuku, 32, Matthew Leash, 33, Costa Grozos, 35, Noah Pagden, 37, Charles Abu Surhal, 38, Mohamed Naja, 39, Lachlan Campbell, and 41, Jerry Scott Tardis. So a very long bench, the Wanderers there. We're just about to get underway. It's going to be Brenton Fox in the middle for the Wanderers to get us underway up here at Cessnock. So we're underway. It'll be the Wanderers in their home kit. The red and black hoops from left to right of screen. The Newcastle Jets also in their home kit in the blue. It's Jason Hoffman chasing it back, playing it right back as usual for the Jets this afternoon. And with an early throw for the Jets. And Matteo, what is your side looking to get out of this match up here at Cessnock?
I think we have a momentum going for us, with that winning streak that we have, and definitely boys want to continue like that. like I said before, to test ourselves against good opposition. But I think more than that, just to keep playing like we've been playing so far, and to show that basically these changes that happened in the club for the last couple of weeks didn't really affect us at all. The boys are ready, and that we're going to kick off the start of the A-League season on front foot like we want to.
Wayne Brown looking through for Morton Nordstrand. Just couldn't find him. Now on the ball is Martinez. Turned back over to Nordstrand, and now Ugarkovic. Jason Hoffman. Daniel Mullen across to Nigel Bogard. And now Nick Cowburn on this near side of the ground. Back to Bogard. Labano, how's your injury going?
Yeah, good. Got all cleared about 5 days ago, so now just back to full training and obviously getting the training minutes under my belt and getting tested and looking forward to for the start of the season, obviously. So yeah, can't wait.
And back for round 1 against Adelaide, which should be an exciting to be at home to start the season as well.
Yeah, look, home games are always special. So, and missing out last year for the full season, I think this year I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, can't wait.
Jared Tyson gets a touch at the back inside the opening 2 minutes. Up here at Cessnock for the trial between the Wanderers and the Jets. Looking forward for Fox. Gets through, no offside, the flag stays down. Still Fox. Comes to Duncan, who just gets a hand to it. A great save from Jack Duncan. A confidence-boosting save, that one, Mateo.
Yeah, great save by Duncan. Wanderers played well, to be fair. But it's good to have a keeper who gives you confidence like that. And I must say both of our keepers, they've done really well, and both really good keepers. So I've got no fear when something like this happens.
We see Nicholas Martinez over to take the corner kick. He's actually been loaned to the Wanderers from Olympiakos in Greece. Hasn't played a match for them of yet. He's loaned out to Cyprus as well from Olympiakos, and now to the Wanderers. It's just a recent signing in September. As here's Kieran Bacchus going back to Cole. Looks down the middle, and Jack Duncan should run across and grab that one at the back. Across to Cowburn. Now over the sideline. And Labano, just speaking about the pre-season, it's been a successful one for you guys in those pre-season matches. You've had some good tests and a good tour over in China, coming home undefeated.
Yeah, I think just Mateo touched in before. We're just looking to build on that, and it's been a good few results, and now we're just looking to finish it off the next 2-3 weeks and just freshen up and get ready for that round 1.
And it must bring a lot of confidence to the squad. You scored plenty of goals over there in China as well.
Yeah, it's always, there's when you're scoring goals, it's always good. So
Morton Nordstrand just down for a moment in the middle of the park. He's getting to his feet now. He looks all right. Bit of a hush around the ground for the minute as Daniel Mullen back to Jack Duncan. And now Mullen to Hoffman. Up and over the top, and Jared Tyson will grab that one. 4 minutes 20 gone here at Cessnock Sports Ground. Newcastle Jets and the Western Sydney Wanderers live here on Bar TV, brought to you by Inspirations Paint. What have you made of the opening 4.5 minutes, Mateo?
It's pretty even, like both of the sides are pretty much testing each other. It's hard to say, nothing major happened apart from that save by Duncan, and I'm pretty sure boys will pick it up and be a bit more dangerous as we go.
Ball comes back for Melling, and now Bacchus looking through for Martinez. Still Martinez. Great footwork from him. A little touch on, and Nigel Bugard's there. Poole up to Nordstrand. Gets taken down, and the Jets win the free kick.
against Melbourne City, and great 2 results and a lot of goals. So it's been good. And I know the boys are looking good today. So
he was in towards the back post towards Brian Mora. Played a major role in the Jets youth side this season in the NPL Northern New South Wales as Jack Clisby off down the far side. Hoffman across to put the pressure on Clisby. There's Bacchus, saved it from Martinez. And they bring it all the way back to Robbie Cornthwaite, new signing for the Wanderers this season. Coming across from Asia. Runs down across the sideline. What was it like coming up against Edgeworth, Matteo? They had a great season, and they've got a big match on tonight at 8 o'clock in Perth in the NPL finals. And good test for you guys, a really good match.
Yeah, it was. I think they showed their quality side, and I mean, winning and being in the grand final is a big thing. And it was a good test for us to play like a local game, obviously to see where we're at. And I think that was a really good test for us, and we showed as early as it was in the season that we were ready. And I think that was a game that we built on. And yeah, it was.
I think it's good to see that NPL, the rise in standard of the second tier competition across Australia, and getting those trials in that really can test the A-League side. We've seen a few A-League sides go down in the FFA Cup. The Mariners and Adelaide United going down to Redlands and Green Gully in the FFA Cup. So the NPL side's really stepping up at the moment. It's Brian Moore across to Yugarkovic, looking for Nordstrand, who was in the middle. Just was a little bit too high for him. Jack Duncan. Costa Bugard. Yugarkovic finds Duncan again. Probably the best chance of the opening 8 minutes of the match. Brenton Fox had a good one on his left. Jack Duncan with a good save. Apart from that, it's been very, very even across the opening 8 and a bit minutes. There's Bugard under pressure from Martinez, but he got a good pass away to Calburn, who's down the left. Looking for Hoole in the middle. Nordstrand coming across. Wanderers there to diffuse the attacking situation there from the Jets. Jonathan Aspro to Bacchus. And Labano, how's the pre-season been getting out and getting involved with all these Jets fans across not just the Hunter region, but also out in Tamworth as well, and getting out there and sharing the A-League with them?
Yeah, it's important we go to this because we get a great support throughout the year, and it's been good. It's been enjoyable. We all made for long pre-season, so it's important also that we do get out and show the community and get the support that we always get at home. So it's been great. It's been great.
Yeah, and how important is that community spirit? Because we saw last year that really came back to the club.
It's very important. I mean, I've been here now on and off for a long time, so I really understand it, and it's really important for the community to get behind us. And this year and last year has been great. So just look forward to the season, like I keep saying, and and I'm looking forward to them joining us and supporting us again.
Yeah, it should be a great season, kicking off against Adelaide United in round 1, the Jets, at home at Hunter Stadium. Matteo, you'll be back for that one, hopefully.
Yeah, I just had after my injury, I felt a little bit again, but I think I stopped on time, and this is pretty much more precaution rather than injury. So yeah, I'm pretty confident I'll be good enough to start season normal. And but in saying, boys are doing really well, and I think this year we have so much more depth, and it doesn't really matter who's playing, because boys are all on the same page, and everybody knows what the roles are. So it's actually pretty good to be part of it.
And I think depth that you spoke about just then is so important, isn't it? In
Yeah,
the A-League, coming up against the big clubs that have a lot more money in Sydney and Melbourne.
Yeah, very important, especially if injuries happen, or
It's Andrew Hoole with some space down the left. Cornthwaite tracking across. Will Hoole take him on? He does, Andrew Hoole, just with a bit heavy of a touch, and Jared Tyson was able to get out and grab the ball. But a great run from Andrew Hoole. He's been fantastic in the pre-season. He stepped up for the Jets. He's grown since he's come back from Sydney FC. Before I let both of you go, do you have a tip for the match? Scoreline? Prediction?
I'm not going to say scoreline, but I'm confident that we'll win this one and continue. Last couple of games we scored a lot of goals, so hopefully we'll continue like that. But I'll take any win.
Yep. And Shannon Cole. Well, I'll let you two go and have a rest up for the rest of the pre-season, and looking forward to seeing you guys get back in the blue, red and gold for round 1 against Adelaide.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
But also now I'll bring in Joel Goodsir, the head of marketing at Inspirations Paint. And Joel, what have you made of the opening 11 and a half minutes?
Yeah, Ben, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a very even contest. Both teams are playing fairly high and, in an attacking manner, so which is always good to see. Makes for a good spectacle. We've got a free kick here for the Wanderers.
Ball played across. It was on Emilio Martinez. Looking towards Jonathan Aspro, was coming in at the back post.
Martinez seems to have been the key playmaker for the Wanderers so far.
There's Robbie Cornthwaite dropping back, playing it to Bacchus. Now you've got some stats for us as well.
Well, I stole these stats off David Keating, the Jet stats man. But there's lots of them. I should probably let David tell us himself. David, would you like to come a bit closer and let us know some of the Wanderers' stats versus Newcastle?
Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Ben. Good to be on Bar TV this afternoon. Look, the Wanderers have been a bit of a bogey team for the Jets, I guess, in competitive matches. 12 matches between the teams. So far, the Wanderers have 6 wins to the Jets 3. There's been 3 drawn matches between them. At home, I guess it's been more of a happy hunting ground for the Wanderers. The Wanderers have 4 of their 6 wins on Newcastle's territory.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. In the A-League era, no wins for the Jets against the Wanderers in Newcastle. Last season they met on 3 occasions. In round 5, the Jets led 1-0 in the 73rd minute of that match. Enver Alividic with the goal, and then Western Sydney came home strong with Andrea, and Mitch Nichols hit a bullet of a shot from outside the 18-yard box to sink the hearts of all the Jets fans. 4 minutes to go. They won that one 2-1. Then on Christmas Eve they met in round 12, as we see free kick going the Jets' way. They met on Christmas Eve, and Western Sydney were just too good that night. They won 2-0. And then in round 23 at Hunter Stadium, Sotirio scored in the 17th for a 1-0 win for the Wanderers. So they're normally tight matches, but it's been the Wanderers last season. 9 points from 9 against the Jets. It's Nigel Bugard back across to Jack Duncan. Now Mullen towards Hoffman. Nice to take on Jacob Melling. He's come across, or come up, I should say, from Melbourne City to play for the Wanderers this season. As the Wanderers get the free kick.
Talking about goals against the Wanderers, it's an interesting fact that the Jets, for the last 5 goals for the Jets against the Wanderers, have been scored by our visa players. I guess if those people that are listening at home want to tweet into Bar TV and try and recall who the last Australian player was to score for the Jets against
the Wanderers. There you go.
Be interested to see who knows.
Yeah, the last 5 goals for the Jets against the Wanderers have been scored by visa players.
For the Jets?
For the Jets.
Against the Wanderers.
Against the Wanderers, wow.
Alividic had 2.
Try and think.
Leaky G had 2.
Okay. Well, I'll try and have a think as Alexander Coco going forward. Now Bacchus. Their last trip to Newcastle, the Western Sydney Wanderers, was a very positive one for them. They got the job done 5-1 against Edgeworth. The Edgeworth Eagles, the major and minor premiers of the NPL Northern New South Wales. Daniel McBrain grabbed the goal for the Eagles, but the Wanderers were just too strong that night, showing their class and depth as Wayne Brown had 2 and 3 around him. And the Wanderers with the free kick.
Importantly, Ben, fashions on the field. We'll see the Hoff there at right back sporting his new two-tone Puma boots. One orange and white, one orange and black. I think he fancies himself in the dress stakes and is quite happy with his sponsor there, I think.
They are quite bright. I'm thinking Andrew Naboo's probably got him in terms of the amount of brightness. His are just pure orange. As Martin, there's a strong tackle from Wayne Brown. And Andrew Houle feeds Ugarkovic. Back to Houle. Houle once again finds some space, and then Melling comes through and cleans him up. And he'll go into the book. First yellow card of the afternoon.
I think that the home crowd like that decision.
They do.
A great opportunity now for the Jets to get on the board in the first 20 minutes.
Well, Stephen Ugarkovic is standing over it. Nigel Bogard as well. I'm just trying to have a look around. Dave, you could probably got a better view than me. There are many of the red and black block here this afternoon. I can't see too many of them.
There are a few Wanderers jerseys in the crowd. I think a few people have made the trip up. But as for the specific presence of the red and black block, no, I can't quite see them here.
Here's Ugarkovic. He goes too heavy. He was looking for Andrew Houle. Just couldn't find him.
Andrew Houle, I guess, was the one that the player that drew that foul. Last time he represented the Jets against the Wanderers, he was probably involved in one of the worst offside decisions that have been made in A-League history. His ball across to Edson Montano, for those that recall, was deemed offside despite a number of Western Sydney Wanderers players being between him and the ball being played behind him. Interesting back from one of the last games.
What year was that in? So that would have been 2014-15, wouldn't it have?
Yeah, 14-15.
The Phil Stubbins era for the Newcastle Jets, 2014-15. It's Morton Nordstrand. Back to Ugarkovic, and now Houle. Cowburn. Looks for Houle again. He's been outstanding in the opening 18.5 minutes. Andrew Houle, there he is, getting a boot in. And then Coco gets a little clip.
Yeah, Shannon Cole not really coping with Houle up on the right hand.
Yeah, he's just got too much pace for the Wanderers skipper for this afternoon's match. Nikolai Topper-Stanley, the usual captain for the Wanderers, on the bench after he was sent off the other night in Melbourne in their 4-1 loss in the FFA Cup. Hoffman whipping one in. Well knocked away. As we see the free kick going the Wanderers' way. This live stream brought to you by the Newcastle Jets' major sponsor, Inspirations Paint. What's your next project?
That was very nicely done, Ben. We could get you on the books with that type of promotion.
I really like the look of the Jets' house, actually. Very, very nicely painted. Beautiful colours opposite Hunter Stadium on Turton Road.
Thank you. Yes, it's not subtle. We've gone for quite a loud colour scheme at the Jets' house.
Sporting the colours beautifully. The blue, red and gold as Shannon Cole chimes in down the right. Back to Melling.
Too heavy.
And bullets a pass. Looking for Lawrence Hanna, which makes me come to think that Kerem Bullitt, who is playing for the Wanderers this season, he's not playing this afternoon. Rested from the side. A lot of their starting side, well, a lot of their potential starting side for this season being rested this afternoon after playing the other night.
It's a very
in Melbourne.
Short and nervous ball then to Brown from Jack Duncan. but they seem to have got away with it and played it out from the back.
Here's Nick Cowburn with a lovely ball to Ugarkovic. Shannon Cole just got a boot in. Back to Cowburn. Hool, dispossessed by Melling. It's been at the heart of everything the Wanderers have done so far this afternoon. Here's Emilio Martinez looking for Jack Clisby. Another new signing for the Wanderers this season. There's plenty of them. And now Naboo down the far side with the bright orange boots. Still Naboo across to Hool. Good movement from the Jets. Here's Hool with a left shoulder, and that is a ripper from Andrew Hool on his right boot. Puts it in the bottom left corner. And he scores again in the pre-season for the Jets. And Cessnock Sports Ground erupts.
Hool's confidence is soaring high. He was one-on-one with the back line and took his chances, and it came off in the corner beautifully.
And just the way it came off the surface, gee, it sped once it bounced in to the bottom left corner. And Jared Tyson couldn't do anything about it. That's the hardest shot to save for a goalkeeper, low down to either side, and brilliant stuff from Andrew Hool, and he's been the best player on the pitch for the opening part of the first half.
A strong setup from Naboo, I thought, coming in from the right-hand side with a nice cross. He seems very confident himself, the young lad.
Here's Clisby. It was a perfect ball from Andrew Naboo across to Hool, wasn't it?
It's a peach of a day here up at Cessnock today. A few clouds in the sky. The surface looks fantastic.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful state of the pitch as well. Used to the Cessnock Goannas Rugby League. Their season finished a few weeks ago, so pitch has been prepared for this match, and doesn't it look spectacular? Hopefully it's looking just as good at home as it is here. There's Daniel Mullen, the back against one of his former clubs. It's Nigel Bogard. Goes up and over the top. Shannon Cole charging after that, and Hool's there again. Takes on Shannon Cole. He's won that battle this afternoon so far. Ugarkovic now. I should say Cowburn. Putting it over. And Jared Tyson takes it quickly to Jonathan Aspro. Western Sydney really with that only that one chance to Brenton Fox, and then it's been all the Jets probably the last 12, 15 minutes or so as Ugarkovic turns, gets away from Melling, now across to Hoffman.
Yeah, it's definitely dominating possession, as you said, the last 5 or 10 minutes, the Jets, and boosted their confidence with that goal.
The boys were looking a bit shaky, I thought, to start the match, but they've really settled down as the match has progressed. And we've started to string a few passes together. The lead-up play prior to that goal down this near side of the ground. One-touch football between the likes of Wayne Brown, Nick Cowburn. It's all starting to look really good.
Jared Tyson just slicing that one up the ground. Cowburn. And a free kick. The Wanderers a little elbow it was.
Wanderers coach Tony Popovic quite animated on the sideline there, standing on the right on the edge and encouraging his players to take the ball up to the Jets. A little bit frustrated, I think.
And I'm sure he'd be disappointed with the result on Wednesday night, going down 4-1. They were down 2-0 before Topper Stanley was sent off. And then the goals were piled in by Melbourne City to rack up 4. Demas grabbed a late consolation for the Jets. Their last match was also against Melbourne City. A distinctly different side than the Western Sydney Wanderers played on Wednesday night. It was more of a youth lineup the Wanderers, I should say, Melbourne City put on the field last Sunday.
We are seeing a bit of a similar situation here today with a number of Wanderers youth side players instead of some of the first players that we were hoping to see, I guess.
Yeah, I'd probably say this is just a bit more experienced than the Melbourne City side from last week, but still, yeah, as you said, Joel, a lot of youth players in this Wanderers side this afternoon. It's Jack Duncan to Wayne Brown. Now to Mullen.
It's the third time Wayne Brown's gotten back to help in defence for Duncan, getting it out of the Jets' half.
There's Hoffman down the right. Clisby across. Put some pressure on him. Lovely pass on the inside towards Andrew Naboo. And unfortunately for him, it deflects off Aspro back onto his leg and over for a goal kick.
There's no hesitation from Naboo. He really wants to take it to them physically.
I think Andrew Naboo is most remembered for 2 goals in that incredible comeback for Melbourne victory against Sydney FC. They were down 2-0 and they scored 3 goals in the last 13 minutes plus stoppage time to win 3-2 and ended the coaching career of Wanderers assistant Ian Crook, who's now Wanderers assistant, was the head coach at Sydney FC, but that was his final match in charge.
He's certainly come back looking like a player with a point to prove. After his time in Malaysia, playing with Taylor Regan, he's looking the goods down that right-hand side for the Jets.
Here's Jacob Melling. Lovely skill from him. Plays it wide to Martinez, who cuts it towards the back post. Wasn't far off. And luckily for Jack Duncan and the Jets, just goes wide. And it'll just be a goal kick.
Yeah, Naboo on Instagram, he keeps referring to being in beast mode. I think this is paying off for him and his confidence.
Well, he grabbed a goal last weekend at Ballarat, along with Morton Nordstrand, who scored 2. And Christian Brymora grabbed 1 as well.
I think we have an answer to the question Statman put to the punters, David.
Matty McMatface has tweeted me directly.
Matty McMatface.
Very good name.
Sounds intelligent.
He's correct, Adam Taggart.
Adam Taggart.
Actually, the Jets won that game 2-0. And it was the last time the Jets beat the Wanderers.
This is Bogart. I actually think that... I think the Jets beat the Wanderers the year after. Last year... not last year. Under Phil Stubbins, they beat a very much Wanderers youth side 2-1 when Western Sydney finished 9th that year.
They did. My notes are a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, 2-1 I think it was. Olividic scored his first goal, I think, for the Jets. Just can't remember who else grabbed the goal for them that day. Little touch on the inside. And now Calburn lets it run over the sideline. Might have been Lee Key and Olividic that day for the 2-1 win.
I think that it was.
Referee just giving Hooley a bit of a talking to there before.
Yeah, just having a chat to Andrew Hoole. I did notice that just on this near side. It's Brenton Fox. Puts some pressure on Jack Duncan, who slices his pass over the sideline.
It's a bit high for Hoff to keep that one in, Jason Hoffman. He gave it his best endeavour. And it's back with the Wanderers. Looking for some space, and the Jets have regained possession.
There's Wayne Brown. Now off the side of the boot is Coco. Across to Hoole. Hoole to Coco. Nice to turn on the ball. He's fantastic over in Finland, Alexander Coco. And the free kick goes the Wanderers' way. I tell you what, Alexander Coco, he is a Christian Brymora lookalike.
He is quite tall, though.
And wearing the number 9 as well. I'm used to seeing Brymora wearing the number 9 for the Jets youth. So just caught me by surprise the opening half an hour or so.
He certainly let Jacob Melling know that he was there in that challenge.
Back from injury in this match, Alexander Coco is Hoole. Back to Calburn. The Wanderers, as I mentioned early in the game, 4 wins from 4 in their pre-season matches, not including the FFA Cup. They had a 2-1 win over the Brisbane Roar in July. 4-1 over Canberra FC in August. We see a ball through for Hannah, but it's going to be taken. We are going to see another free kick here from the Wanderers. For the Wanderers, and in good position too. Just those other matches that they played. They also had a tour to Japan in early September. And they had 2 wins there, 3-1 and 3-0 in Tokyo and Chiba with the Wanderers. FFA Cup, they beat the Wellington Phoenix 3-2 in the round of 32. In the round of 16, as I mentioned before, 5-1 win against Edgeworth. None of the goal scorers playing this afternoon. Scott Neville with 2, the former Jet. Hamill with 1 and Santalab with a couple late as well. And then the 4-1 loss on Wednesday night to send them out at the quarter-final stage.
Martinez or Cole here to take it. Probably Cole. Ref
And
just settling the wall.
No magic spray this afternoon. There's Martinez. So it's Martinez or Cole. You'd probably, from this angle, you'd be thinking Shannon Cole, but yes, it will be Shannon Cole on his right boot, straight into the wall.
The wall did its job perfectly. I couldn't tell who it came off. It could have been the Russian, Coco.
There's Cornthwaite up and over the top. Up the ground, Aspro. Getting his head in an awkward position. Yeah, actually born in Russia, Alexander Coco. Jack Duncan. Not sure how many people know that. No, he's also got... he also spent some time in Finland, and I'm pretty sure has a passport from Finland as well. As here is the ball through for Cowburn to Nordstrand. And Aspro got back and did some good defensive work for the Wanderers. He was born in Leningrad, was Alexander Coco. He plays his national football for Finland. He moved there when he was 10.
It's a great overlap with Hall and Cowburn then up the left-hand wing.
They've been brilliant down the left, haven't they, the Jets? I think that's something Adelaide United in round 1 will have to look out for. They're going to be dangerous down that side this season. Here's Clisby. Cross looking for Fox.
Good cross, but no one there to receive it.
Yeah, they just couldn't get there and put over the sideline by Cowburn.
Now Cole with the throw in for the Wanderers deep in the Jets' half. Interestingly, the round 1 match against the reigning champions Adelaide is the 11th anniversary of the first ever A-League match.
And we played Adelaide, didn't we?
We did.
First match in
2005.
Yeah, 2005.
The scorer in that match, gentlemen.
The score, was it 0-0? Or was it 1-0?
It was 1-0.
It was 1-0 to Adelaide. It was either a draw or we lost, I remember, but
I believe the 10th anniversary was in the 14-15 season, and the Jets got up against Adelaide. Statman, is that correct?
I'll take your word for it.
I was there.
Now, Dave, do you know who scored in 2005 the first goal between the Jets and Adelaide back in 2005?
We can put that out to your listeners.
Listeners and viewers out there in Bar TV world, so maybe do some research on that.
Corner here from Melling for the Wanderers.
This Melling whips it in low. Coco trying to clear it. He had a miss and sits back up for Bacchus. Bogard gets his boot to it. Concedes the corner.
I think Bogard's been exceptional. Calm, confident in defence, in one-on-one situations, and not overly aggressive. It bodes well for the season ahead.
Let's hope he isn't too aggressive after last season. Got a few red cards. We really missed him at the back as well, Nigel Bogard.
I think he plans on being there all season. Short corner intercepted by the Jets there.
Wall did well. Nordstrand up there. Jack Duncan coming forward, looking like he was going to take it. Cornthwaite sits back up for Fox. Still Fox. And sliced off the boot by Lawrence Hanna. Now Cowburn. Towards Brian Mora. I should say Coco. There you go. He's cool. Sorry about that. Wayne Brown. Towards Coco again.
He holds it up nicely. 2-on-1.
And now he goes to ground. The Jets with the free kick. Shannon Cole, he is just getting some attention. Some blood coming out of his head. Interestingly, just down here, Clayton Zane, Jets coach for this afternoon, having a chat to Nigel Bogard. Wayne Brown. Ugarkovic across to Hoffman. Striker come defender, Jason Hoffman. Yeah, scored a goal late in one of the matches, the winner. 3-2 result. 2-1 result, I should say, against Easton. Hoffman goes back to Mullen. On to Jack Duncan. Wayne Brown up towards Nordstrand. Now Ugarkovic. Melling goes back to his keeper in Jared Tyson. Wayne Brown for the Jets. Played his youth football over in Fulham in the UK. Made just the one appearance for them in the FA Cup against Bristol Rovers, where he also spent some time playing. That was back in 2008. I've already seen his class in the opening 37.5 at Cessnock this afternoon. Jets with a 1-0 lead from Andrew Houle. Live here on Bar TV. Brought to you by Inspirations Paint. As Jacob Melling goes wide to Clisby. Towards middle for Fox, who just slipped over. And Nick Cowburn brings it out. And goes back to Bogard. And now Mullen to Hoffman. But they've moved the ball really well, the Jets, in the opening half, haven't they, Joel?
Yeah, absolutely. And they seem to be growing in confidence as halftime approaches. Now, David, the stat man, tells me there's 5 Jets players that are ex-Wanderers. We've got one sitting nearby us here. 4. Sorry, I've been corrected.
Here's Houle again down the left. Takes on Shannon Colt, who's now got the head bandage on. His Bacchus turns. Martinez getting involved, and Cowburn and Houle just getting in each other's way. To Brown. Now for Jack Duncan, who is across the ground for Ugarkovic. Hoffman, I should say, and now Mullen to Brown. Lovely touch on through Martinez, and here's Cole.
Tempo seems to have increased with 5 minutes to go before the break.
There's now the free kick against the Jets. A little clip on Melling. The referee's going to have a chat. Just holding play up here. Is it to Wayne Brown? It is. Made some hard challenges this afternoon, hasn't he, Wayne Brown? Takes no prisoners.
I think the refereeing's being really, really good, really fair, and letting play flow where it can. Just the 1 yellow card so far.
Yeah, Jacob Melling, and that was warranted. The clip on Andrew Houle as he was sprinting off at the backfield. Here's Jack Duncan to Mullen. Trying to kickstart his career, Jack Duncan at the Jets. He spent some time here in his youth career. He grew up in Perth, and then he returned to Perth from 2010 to 2013. He also went over to Denmark as well. Played one match for Randers before coming back to the Jets this season. So it's going to be a battle between him and Ben Kennedy for the top spot in the Jets goalkeeping ranks as Jason Hoffman, Naboo. Still Naboo. Plenty of toe already. Appeals for handball. Not heeded by the referee. It's tough to spot from up here as Hannah Under pressure from Brown. And Ugarkovic gets involved in Naboo to Nordstrand. Looking through for Naboo. The flag stays down. Andrew Naboo for 2 for the Jets. He puts it in, Andrew Naboo. And gee, he is a star of the preseason, isn't he, Andrew Naboo for the Jets? And right before half-time, they strike. I'll tell you what, Joel, I'm excited about the season proper for Andrew Naboo. Gee, he's looked slick this afternoon.
One-on-one with the keeper and was very calm on the ball. Took his time and passed it, didn't overhit it. And very, very nice work. And you could see his celebration, how pleased he was with the finish on that as well.
Both wingers scoring today. They've been in red-hot form this pre-season.
Naboo and Hull, they've been the 2 best on the pitch.
It's wonderful to see. It takes a bit of pressure off the strikers as well to have these attacking midfielders that can convert.
This is Hannah. This is where the Wanderers bring it forward, and dangerous there. But I must say, for the Wanderers, Brenton Fox has been impressive for them up front. One of their youth players.
Certainly been pushing and getting into the right positions. Probably a little bit frustrated at not getting as much delivery as he'd like to his feet or in the air.
Here's Bacchus. Dodging and weaving around a couple, and Wayne Brown and Mullen there to do the blocking on that occasion. Shannon Cole gets away from Brown and away from Houle. And then he decides to go back to Jonathan Aspro.
Cole sporting some head tape to stop that bleeding we saw earlier.
Here's Martinez. Only player out there for the Wanderers without a name on the back of his shirt, just showing the recent addition on loan from Olympiacos is Nicholas Martinez, the number 10 for the Wanderers. Here's Clisby. Fires one across the face, but it was always rising. And it's still 2-0 the Jets over the Wanderers. Live here on Bar TV up at Cessnock Sports Ground. You're seeing today's vision courtesy of Inspirations Paint. They love a paint project like a goalie loves a clean sheet. And Jack Duncan is liking that feeling at the moment. He actually hasn't kept a clean sheet in his 8 A-League matches, Jack Duncan. As here's Houle. And he cut inside. He does so. He's got Ugarkovic, who lays it off to Naboo. Naboo on his right. Slips over and bounces a couple of times wide. But I'm really interested, Joel, to see who the Jets go with in terms of keeper for the first match. Is it going to be Jack Duncan or Ben Kennedy?
They're obviously fighting it out for the number 1 spot, and the people I've been speaking to are saying they've been quite even, and that they're both doing very well under, Jess Van Straten, the goalkeeper coach, who did so well with Birigidi last season. But if I had to put forward a tip, I think it might be Duncan.
Yeah, he's 23 years of age. Ben Kennedy, not old at all in the goalkeeping department. He's 29. See goalkeepers go through till they're 40 and 41.
Thomas Sorensen, the oldest player in the A-League, Mr. Statman, is that correct?
I focus on Newcastle Jets, thanks, mate.
And here's the ball across the face. Whipped over
but
towards
he'd have
the
to be
sideline.
up there.
Mark Schwarzer, of course. And another old goalkeeper, the Hungarian goalkeeper that played at the Euros, Kirili, with the tracksuit pants. It's Nick Cowburn. Goes in towards Houle. Cowburn. It's Coco. Now to Nordstrand. Probably hasn't been on the ball as much as he would have liked. Morten Nordstrand scored 2 last weekend. And he was so impressive at the back end of last season for them. 11 games and 4 goals. There he is, Morten Nordstrand, almost on cue. And it is... Has it found its way in, or is it... It's a goal
it's been
kick.
awarded a foul.
It's a foul. It was almost on cue there. Morten Nordstrand just saying he wasn't involved, and almost pops up for the Jets' third as we are now in stoppage time in the first half. You'd sense not too much play to go now as Jared Tyson
I'm just getting the feeling that perhaps...
As we see half-time called at Cessnock Sports Ground, it's been an impressive half from the Newcastle Jets. They lead it by 2-0. Andrew Houle and Andrew Naboo, the two Andrews with the goals in the first half. And they looked really slick, the Jets, on a fast surface up at Cessnock. And Joel, just a quick summary of the first half.
Yeah, I thought, as David said, we started off a little hesitant and slow, but soon found our form. Around the 15-minute mark, started to dominate possession and multiple runs up the left flank with Hall, 5 or 6 runs. That's where we've really opened them up, and then Naboo on the right as well. So, but a lot of it stemming from Brown and Ugarkovic in the midfield. They really have the vision. Their eyes are up there looking for the runs.
And Dave, for you, what really caught your eye in the first half from a Jets perspective?
We look a lot stronger on the ball, in my opinion, than we did at stages throughout last year. It's clearly something that we've been working on during the pre-season. I'm really liking the transition between the fullbacks and the use of the wingers this year. The speed that we have out wide is something that we were certainly lacking through stages of the previous season, and the addition of Hull and Naboo have been causing the opposition problems today. Shannon Cole's really struggled with Andrew Hull down this right-hand side, or this near side of the touchline, and that's where a lot of our play went during this half.
All right, well, we'll just have a quick break. We are potentially having a chat to Mark Jones, the incoming Jets coach, in just a second, but we'll be back a little bit later in halftime with that. But a quick break here at Cessnock Sports Ground. It's the Newcastle Jets 2, leading the Western Sydney Wanderers 0.
What's wrong with Angie?
He's not well, mate.
We gotta do something.
Inspirations paint.
Yes.
Oh, it's Loungy, our lounge room paint project.
Right this way. There, boy. I think Loungy here needs lots of fresh ideas and attention. Tell me about your lounge room.
Old Federation, high ceilings and dado rails.
What about an industrial meets Oxford scheme? What type of floor is it?
Polished floorboards.
Great. Brick wallpaper in the top section. Dark colour down low. I'll take you through each step to make sure you get a great finish.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Vic.
Come on, Angie. Kitchi.
Hello and welcome back to Cessnock Sports Ground. The second half almost about to get underway. The Newcastle Jets taking on the Western Sydney Wanderers in this A-League trial match. With me in commentary is Joel Goodsir and Dave Keating. And boys, really looking forward to this second half. We're going to have Andrew Naboo and Andrew Rahul right in front of us, attacking the goals to the right-hand end of the screen.
I'll be interested to see whether the Jets make any changes at halftime. It'd be quite a warm day out there. I'm certain that the Wanderers are going to make some changes, given that they quite a number of their players played during the week in the FFA Cup, lost to Melbourne City.
The Jets returning to the field. We'll just check if they are going to make any changes. We're also going to try and chat to Mark Jones during the second half. He's not on the bench this afternoon. Clayton Zane's still there, but he will be there come round one of the A-League. Yeah, no changes.
It doesn't look... It does... Oh, we've got a change about to happen on the side. It's looking as though Devante Clute is getting ready.
And 37 for the Wanderers, which is Charles Abu-Surhal. He's out there as well, just on the edge of the centre circle.
The change to me is that Clute has come on for Coco. Nordstrom, I would assume, will go up front, and Clute will fall in behind him.
He had a good half, didn't he? Alexander Coco getting some K's in his legs.
I had the perception, and tell me what you guys think, that perhaps Coco and Nordstrom hadn't had a lot of time up the front together. Did they play together in China much?
I know that Alexander Coco got injured in China, so I'm thinking they wouldn't have had too much time together.
That's right. Coco was taken off in the first match after about 20-odd minutes. I think today for Coco is simply about getting back out there on the pitch, getting some minutes into his legs, and looking forward to round one.
Yeah, I think it'll take a number of weeks for those two to really get to know each other's style and combine and play. But in the meantime, you've got four great attacking midfielders around them.
So here we go. These are these new rules in place now across the world from FIFA, with only one player needing to be at the kickoff, as the ball doesn't have to go forward anymore. So the Jets taking advantage of that. Morten Nordstrand is going to kick us off.
I hope they don't reflect that in FIFA 17, because that's going to ruin my tactic.
So Wayne Brown back to Bogard. Now, I did get a few tweets. Dave got a few, and Joel as well, about the first player to score against the Jets in the A-League in that first match against Adelaide United. It was Carl Viet that scored. And Dave, you said it was a header.
Yeah, it was a header in the first half.
It's the ball back towards Jared Tyson. Now Calburn with the header. And Andrew Houle. Here's Bacchus. Across the ground to Hannah, and now Clisby.
Clute crossing. Came to nothing in the end.
Clisby and now Jacob Melling. Joining us up here in the commentary box is Newcastle Jets coach Mark Jones. And what did you make of the first half, Mark?
Oh, we started slowly, but we got into the game, and there's some promising football towards the end of the first 45.
As we just see Hannah going across, and Bogard heads it back to Jack Duncan. What are your thoughts with your first A-League appointment as head coach?
I'm obviously excited. It's an opportunity that I've wanted for a long time. So, yeah, away we go.
You've also had some time at the Jets as an assistant coach as well, so you know the place very well, and from Newcastle as well. And I think it's great to have a coaching combination with you and Clayton, both from Newcastle. It's outstanding to see.
It's pleasing. I said, obviously, Newcastle and Newcastle, we back ourselves to do as a good a job as anyone in the country, and it's pleasing that the Jets have backed us to do that.
We see Jason Hoffman going back to Nigel Bogard. Season kicking off against Adelaide for you, so you've got a few weeks to check out the squad. And how much time have you spent with the squad? Obviously not too much with the announcement yesterday.
I literally flew in yesterday morning, so I've had last night with the squad and this morning, and that's it so far.
I'm sure Clayton will give you a good rundown on that as well.
Yeah, he's done a good job to keep the squad intact and the spirits up in a difficult period.
Congratulations on the appointment, Mark. How did the boys take to meeting you last night, and what was the reaction and response from them?
I know most of the boys, whether it be from Newcastle or Andrew was with me in Negri in Malaysia, so there's not too many that I haven't had some association with. So yeah, it's good to catch up with the boys again. But like I said, I'm just happy to be in Newcastle and have a team that I think we can be competitive with.
Andrew Houle now to Devante Cludden. Yeah, as you're saying, being competitive. Gee, they've been as here as Ugarkovic getting through. Jared Tyson just gets a hand to it and dives on the ball. And Andrew Houle and Andrew Naboo on each flank, they were so impressive in the first half. You must be impressed with the ball movement and the speed that was shown in the first half.
Yeah, they're both dynamic players, and they're a constant threat, and that's what we need. We need to intimidate other teams with this threat.
Confidence seems to play a big factor, and in the front third last year we seemed to lack the confidence, but it's certainly evaporated in the pre-season.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it can be deceiving at times. Obviously, it's not a full-strength Western Sydney, so but it's still pleasing to the movement patterns and the directness, and they'll get confidence to scoring goals no matter what the opposition is.
Yeah, and you've still got to get the job done, don't you, Mark? Because, you know, if you play a youth Western Sydney side or a youth Melbourne City side and you get, you know, you only just get the job done or, you know, to draw or that sort of stuff, the fans and the pundits start questioning things. So 4-0 wins like the one against Edgeworth and last week against Melbourne City and 2-0 at halftime here today, it's one way to silence any critics.
It is. They need to set their own intensity sometimes in games where the opposition perhaps doesn't do that, and they've done that, and that's pleasing. And hopefully when we step up full-strength A-League sides in the near future, that we are just as competitive.
Is it a concern, perhaps, that the boys haven't had hit-outs against some really strong teams other than the FFA Cup match against Victory?
Yeah, we've had the FFA Cup match against the Victory, and hopefully we can get. We're looking to try and see if we can get another match to next week. But it is what it is. We know we just have to do the best we can in the conditions that we've been given.
I was chatting to Jason Hoffman on Wednesday, and he said that that match, after that loss, the boys really galvanised and said, we're not going to put up with that level of result anymore. And since then, they've just been aiming much, much higher. And we've certainly seen that pay off in the pre-season, which is heartening.
It is. You need a winning mentality, and you need to do whatever it takes to win. And sometimes it's you earn your luck.
And how happy are you with the community connection from the club? Of course, as I mentioned before, 2 coaches from Newcastle, captain born in Newcastle as well, and just that connection with the community that probably wasn't here 2 years ago for the Jets.
Obviously, it's good to be close to the community and have people within the community that you know and that are supporters. But then again, you still have to earn their trust and earn their faith, and the majority is just not going to give it to you because you're a local person. So we need to play attractive football. We need to go out and try to win games, and I think earn the respect of the entire community, not just the people that we know and follow us directly.
Now, is it true you went out and visited the Jets' house yesterday, Mark?
We did. Excellent.
What did you think about it?
It's excellent. It's in a good spot. It's highly visible, and it's magnificent. To have sponsors like that on board is tremendous for the club.
Yeah, they're pretty good, aren't they? I think they're top rate. What do you reckon, Ben?
Inspirations Paint do a fantastic job. The paint colour was wonderful, absolutely wonderful there at the Jets' house, and I'm sure that's going to get plenty of action this season. Just across the road from Hunter Stadium.
Well, it's a bit of fun, and you know, we wanted to, the club's had a rough few weeks, and we wanted to inject a bit of passion back into it.
I think that's needed. The help of the community when things are not always going to be rosy, so we need that support when times aren't good, and if we get through those periods, then we have a successful year.
Comes back to Jack Duncan, and goes up towards Naboo. And now Hannah on the ball for the Wanderers. Well, Mark, we better let you go. Thanks so much for coming and having a chat to us here at Cessnock, and good luck with the season.
My pleasure, and thank you very much.
Good luck, Mark.
Cheers, mate.
So Jason Hoffman with a throw for the Jets. There's 7.5 minutes gone in the second half.
Yeah, the Jets seem to be struggling to play out from the back a little bit more than they were in the first half.
Yeah, Wanderers just making it a little bit harder for them. And Hannah had a volley just as we were speaking to Mark, which he sprayed up and over the top. So as here's Brown with a shot, just slices it wide. Thought that was going to sit in the bottom right corner. But fortunately for the Wanderers, just slid wide. I actually was reading a tweet just then at half-time, and there's actually some goalposts up here at Cessnock, just to the left edge of camera, when the opposite end to where Jared Tyson is taking the goal kick. And I saw a tweet that the kids are using the football goalposts as soccer goals. So it's great to see up here at Cessnock. It is rugby league heartland in Newcastle, but great to see the football fans / soccer fans, whatever you like to call it, up here today at Cessnock as Ugarkovic towards Nordstrand.
That's a good crowd here today as well. We're estimating, I think around 2,000. Not sure if we'll get an official number.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, find out what the number is, but it is a very healthy crowd.
It's a great afternoon for football, and it's great to see so many people come out just for a trial match. And we hope that everyone at home is enjoying our dulcet tones.
We have had a tweet from the head of the Jets squadron, the Active Supporters Club, Ferns, down in Kiama, watching the game. He said he's enjoying my nasally drawl. Normally I have to trap people in a room to make them to listen to me, so I feel sorry for some of your viewers, Ben.
No, that's fine, Joel. You're doing a fantastic job. And Dave as well this afternoon is... We're going to have a corner here to the Jets. A little bit of a mix-up at the back, and runs over the byline. And it's Andrew Houle going across to take it.
As Andrew Houle walks over to this corner, those that are listening at home, if you'd like to hear more about the Jets in the audio format, there's a fan-run podcast called The Jet Stream. You can find it on iTunes, through Stitcher, through SoundCloud. You can also find it through the newcastlefootball.net, the Jet Stream. We have interviews with players, Laurie McKenna.
Houle swings that one in. Go back to you, Dave.
Yeah, Laurie McKenna also gave us some time earlier in the year about the plans for the club and what they're looking to do under the ownership of Martin Lee. So if you're looking to keep up to date on a regular basis, match reviews and previews, you can join me, you can join Grant, you can join Michael and Emma and Glenn on the Jet Stream.
David, that was a great plug, and it's well deserved. It's the favourite hour of my week during the season, and congratulations on the off-season interviews you did as well with some of the past Jets players from years gone by.
Thanks, Joel. It was really good of the likes of Ryan Griffiths, Taylor Regan, Ned Zelich. Hugh Yarlins had a co-starring role in one of the interviews as well. Zenon Caravella, Vaughan Coveney, some names from the past to give up their time to come and talk to us.
Yeah, and Q Yallian's doing a great job at Western club in the NPL Northern New South Wales here in the Hunter, and doing some fantastic work there. They didn't have the best season this year, but next year it's looking good for Western, and great to see Q giving some time back to the local talent here in the Hunter, playing for the Jets, and then heading down to Melbourne City and back to the Hunter again.
It was good that he came back to the Hunter. It's certainly a place that does that to you. I know I came here 22 years ago and never left. It's a pretty good secret. Don't tell anyone, Ben.
That's right, we won't. Don't tell anyone from Sydney. We might get a few coming up. So here is Nigel Bogard. Finds Cowburn. Now Houle. Towards the centre circle. Thought he got a little clip there from Emilio Martinez. Didn't stop his progress, and Bogard across to Andrew Naboo.
Cross to Naboo.
And Clisby contain him. He's got Hoffman.
Hoffman
and
now
lovely
in the
pass
box
to Jason Hoffman. Across the face, looking for Clute to come on in the second half. For Alexander Coco, just couldn't get on the end of it.
I thought Hoffman might...
There's Clute. Well, we may see our second yellow card of the afternoon. And the number 23 for the Jets goes into the book.
Yeah, I thought Hoffman might go himself then. He was just entering the box, but he squared it into the middle. And
the defence for the Wanderers, they're not tracking across. Jack Clisby had his hands full with Naboo, and no one watching Hoffman flooding down the right edge and cutting into the box.
Feel the players starting to look a bit tired out there today?
yeah, I'm not sure of the temperature, but it's certainly quite warm even in the shade of the stadium.
Here's Robbie Cornthwaite. He's had plenty of time in the A-League, 103 matches. Scored 4 goals. Had some time in at Adelaide, those 103 matches he played, and then went over to Asia where he played in the K-League. He also played in Malaysia as well before signing for the Wanderers at the start of this season. They've had a clear out at the end of last season, which is something strange. You don't see that very often from a side that got to the grand final, having such a big player clean out. Here's Shannon Cole. Back to Bacchus. Little touch on towards Fox. Now Hannah on the turn, I should say Martinez. And then Hoffman gets his boot, threw it up the ground. And Jonathan Aspro across to control the ball.
You make a good point about the clear out of the Wanderers. However, it's been something that they have done over the past couple of seasons.
I think it's a good thing as well, isn't it? Just to rejuvenate the squad. And
it's certainly a credit to their coaching team, to Tony Popovich and his support staff, that they're able to clear out a number of players, yet maintain a style of play and a method of play, integrate everyone into the team in it is a long off season. It's a 6-month off season, but still have that ability to scout, recruit, and integrate people into the team.
And showing you can coach anyone, and showing that's exactly right. As Andrew Houle tracks that one down just inside the byline. He's got Cowburn, he finds him, he tries to step inside Melling, who puts it over the line. He's been impressive, Jacob Melling. Saw on Twitter at halftime as well, there were people praising Jacob Melling from the Wanderers camp, and he's been very, very good in the midfield, coming from Melbourne City up to the Wanderers this season.
Just as we have a corner from the Jets, David, how, perhaps after the corner you can answer it, but how do you think the Wanderers have recruited this year? I'd be keen to know. They've got the only Asian player in the A-League, I see.
There's Andrew Houle on the corner, whips it in. Tyson, don't think he got a hand to it. Naboo had a good chance with the header at the back post, couldn't get on the end of it.
Hopefully Daniel Mullen's okay there. He appears to be holding his back after going up for that header at the far post.
Ben Kanarowski coming on for the Jets, and Andrew Naboo makes way, and he deserves the ovation he's receiving because he has been right up there with one of the best for the Jets. I think it's between him and Andrew Houle up to this point in the match. Just over 2/3 through it. It's Kieran Bacchus.
The Jets have made a slight shift in their formation. Wayne Brown has moved out onto the right wing where Andrew Naboo was playing, and Ben Kanarowski's slotted into the centre of the park in his more favoured position.
It's where he's more comfortable, isn't it? Kanarowski will be looking to make a menace of himself today. I heard that could be his new nickname this season. Dennis, the players are calling him.
Now, Joel, you were just making reference before to the Wanderers. You're saying they've the only Asian player in the A-League. Is that correct? Is that Junpei?
I was reading an article just this week saying, is it the A-League's shame that there's only one?
When you said that, I couldn't quite believe that. But that's incredible. Here's Hannah. Still with Hannah. And
the article
Ben
said
Kanarowski with the boot, threw it over the sideline. But that is a stat and a half.
At its highest, it was 6 or 7 Asian players out of the 180 that are playing at any one time around that, David.
As Bacchus leaves the pitch, and coming on is Costa Grozos, 33, youth player for the Wanderers.
He had a few good touches, Kieran Bacchus, throughout that first half.
Back to Clisby. as Hoffman put over the sideline by Daniel Mullen up into the grandstand in front of us here at Cessnock. Couldn't have asked for a better afternoon. 52 kilometres west of Newcastle, Cessnock.
Up in wine country, the Hunter Valley.
Yeah,
Some
the
of the
Hunter
best
Valley.
semi-on in Australia.
The gateway town it's called to the vineyards.
Mines and vines.
Goes together nicely. And Jacob Melling with the free kick for the Wanderers.
The article also talked about the +1 rule and whether it should be instituted in Australia like it is in most Asian countries where you have to have one Asian player in each team. So that was being discussed.
Well, speaking of players from Asia, one of the most impressive, I'll come back to that after Melling goes short. Finds not the new man on the pitch. He came on at half-time in Charles Abu Surhal. And now Shannon Cole drops back. But Kigo Moriyasu, the son of Hajime, who's the coach of Sanfrecce Hiroshima in the J League, he's been playing for the Edgeworth Eagles this year, and he has been outstanding for them. It's just he's been brought off the bench in some of the bigger matches by Damien Zane, the coach of Edgeworth, just due to his size. But he's got some pace, and he is probably, as we see a yellow card coming here for Nigel Bogard, but he is probably...
That was for Daniel Mullen, actually.
Daniel Mullen, sorry. Bogard just going up for a chat. But he is probably... I can't think of a better technical player in the NPL Northern New South Wales than Kigo Moriyasu. If you haven't seen a few of his goals, I'd check them out on Bar TV Sports YouTube channel.
They're playing
outstanding.
Perth tomorrow?
Tonight, 8 p.m. our time. If you want to catch it on the National Premier League's live stream. So Edgeworth going to battle over there in Perth, so good luck to them. Sydney United taking on Brisbane Strikers tomorrow in the other semi-final. The grand final to be played next weekend. If Edgeworth win it, probably will be here. Depending on the result in the other match, it all comes down to goals scored and that sort of thing. And Jacob Melling stands over the free kick again for the Wanderers. 65 gone. Tries to chip it up and over the wall, and that's straight to Wayne Brown, who just puts his boot through it.
That's a
and Jared Tyson goes for a little trot and finds Cornthwaite.
That's a disappointing set piece from Melling there. It was a great opportunity for the Wanderers, but it's not capitalised on.
It was probably their third real chance they'd had, I agree. They need to look at
Hoffman's gone down, and Clisby has as well, and there was a scream of pain there. I'm not sure whether it was Hoffman or Clisby, but Hoffman is still on his haunches, but he's back up now, so no worries there. And he's running fairly freely. He might have just been winded, Jason Hoffman. There's Abu Surhal to Clisby. Now Jonathan Aspro. Across to Cornthwaite. But we were talking about how young this Wanderers side is. As Cornthwaite just stretching out that left hamstring in trouble. But their backline is pretty experienced. You know, Jonathan Aspro and Robbie Cornthwaite, Clisby and Shannon Cole.
Certainly a lot of A-League experience in those back four. Jack Clisby just having arrived from Melbourne City during the off-season.
He's played 60 matches in the A-League, Jack Clisby. So 60 for him. Shannon Cole's played 145 as Cornthwaite is down. The heat just taking its toll, and
he appeared to be holding his right hamstring as that play was coming on, but he's back up. But I don't know.
He was
for how
stretching his
long.
left one a moment ago, and now he's right as well. So both of them just not in a good way for Robbie Cornthwaite. Yeah, Shannon Cole 145 games. Jack Clisby with 60. Robbie Cornthwaite with 103 and Jonathan Aspro with 13. So it's not an inexperienced backline for the Wanderers.
Wayne Brown holding it up there.
Here's
Hoffman.
Jason Hoffman. But when you got someone like Nikolai Topper-Stanley with 236 games of experience, it's probably more than the three of them combined. And he is going to come on the pitch. It's just waiting
What I will say about this Wanderers back line is that while there is plenty of experience, I wouldn't expect that this will be the lineup that they would be putting out in their first match of the A-League season. Clearly, the Wanderers have rested a number of players following the midweek fixture against Melbourne City. And today for them would be more about getting more experience for their team, for their fringe players who may be looking to impress to get into the squad for round 1 of the A-League.
Some good possession play here from the Jets, but you're absolutely right, David. The Sydney Derby up first for the Wanderers versus Sydney FC at Stadium Australia. 55,000. Oh, here we go.
Here's a chance for the Jets onto the bar from Devante Clout. He went into the book a few moments ago, but that shot thundering off the upright. And they're very lucky, the Wanderers, to not be down by 3. And Robbie Cornthwaite is going to come from the pitch, just struggling a little with his fitness, you'd think, with the hamstring problems there, cramping up. And Nikolai Topper-Stanley, who was red carded the other night against Melbourne City, only played half the match. He was in the 44th. He was sent off, and he's on now. Former Jet. And receives a warm ovation from the predominantly Jets crowd here at Cessnock Sports Ground. I think there's still a little bit of love for Nikolai Topper-Stanley. Probably some Jets fans wondering how he ended up leaving.
Clout did really well with that opportunity just before Topper-Stanley was introduced into the game. He used his body really well to hold Aspro off, who's not a little guy. Showed a good deal of strength there and managed to get first-time shot off. Just unlucky that it hit the bar and went over.
And Skrozos looking back for Hanover, and now Clisby with the throw. Nordstrand pressuring Clisby and clipping him. And are we going to see a yellow for Morton Nordstrand? We are. He goes into the book. I think she's saying there's a few fouls he's committed from that gesture from the referee. I didn't think there was too much malice in that from Morton Nordstrand on Clisby. Today's live stream is brought to you by Inspirations Paint. They have paint stores all across Australia, including in Newcastle and in Western Sydney. How many stores across Australia?
There's 130 stores, and even though we sponsor the Jets, we sell red and black paint as well.
So any Wanderers fans that want to paint a house down there, it'll be too easy to get some paint from Inspirations Paint.
Lovely turn there by Morton Nordstrand.
He's all class, the Dane. And here are the...
Aspro to Topper-Stanley goes back to Tyson. Yeah, Morton Nordstrand, from what we saw last year, can't speak highly enough of him. An outstanding recruit. Just great for the Jets. Here's some pressure on Aspro as he does a pirouette away from Clout. Now to Shannon Cole with that head bandage from the clash in the first half.
Tenacious is the word that comes to mind for Clout for me, and Brown. They're hungry. They're really hungry for possession and for attacking channels.
I've been really impressed with the pressing and the energy shown by the Newcastle Jets today.
Here's Hoffman whipping it in towards Nordstrand, just a little high.
It's still live, and Wanderers struggling here. The Jets have regained the ball.
That's just Brown's strength again, isn't it? No malice or anything illegal involved in that. He bumped away from Hannah, but just that tenacity, as you mentioned, Joel. Put in some hard challenges this afternoon, putting his body on the line.
A lot as well. It's just great to see. It's something I feel last season was lacking, and it all seems to stem from this confidence that they're exuding now that they were chasing last season.
And it's passing with a purpose for me, Joel. You can continue to hold the ball, but continue to play with it around the back. We're looking forward. We've got our heads up as Steven Ugarkovic and Devante Clout plays, an unintentional dummy.
Play on.
As Topper-Stanley finds Shannon Cole.
But there's a lot more intent and incision with the passing, I'd say, this year. We're certainly looking a lot more, a lot calmer.
A lot faster as well. I'm just
less back passing also.
Yeah, a lot more speed.
Yeah, the ball movement is a lot quicker.
More 1-2s, more space on the wings that they're actually utilising.
And Daniel Mullen across to Bogard. And now with Cowburn. Poole getting clipped, and the free kick goes the Jets' way. So it doesn't really count, but Jets haven't been able to beat the Wanderers here in Newcastle in the A-League seasons that they have played. So I'm just trying to think. So that's 4 A-League seasons the Wanderers have been in now.
And there's a great coaching stat that I stole off David as well, which shows that both Popovich and Clayton have an equal win record of 50% when the two teams have played each other, and Zane has the best win record of any of the prior Jets coaches.
He's the only one who's undefeated, and he's also he was also in the dugout for the only match that the Jets have managed to keep a clean sheet against the Wanderers, which was that match that we mentioned earlier.
Taggart.
2-0 win in which Adam Taggart scored. Q Yarland's getting the first in that match.
Down in Western Sydney, that one for the Jets, that win.
David, it's also true that you've said there's never been a 0-0 clean sheet with the two teams. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is true. There's always goals when these two teams meet.
And the Wanderers outdoing the Jets in the first to score, I believe.
Overall in competitive matches, yeah, but that is true. We've managed to get one back in that side of things today. As Andrew Hill's brought down by Shannon Cole.
Shannon Cole quickly running back to his position. Away from the referee, but there is no card for him, so he doesn't need to worry.
Shannon Cole clearly not watching the Euros this year, knowing that Christian Benucci's head bandage is the way to go. Maybe it's just not that bad of a cut.
I was impressed with the black colour of the headband. It's pretty badass, really.
Here's Hoffman. Yeah, so used to seeing the white, aren't you? Here's Clute again. Hit the post a moment ago. Now to Kanarowski. On to Brown, and Topper Stanley just letting it run over the goal line. In front of the Jets bench down in the corner. Just warming up. The head. You have got
that's just a
bit of strapping.
Garter belt there for number 19. He's reattached his
Jacob Melling, just
accessory.
Some kind of band there on his right thigh. Not quite sure what it's. Just some kind of compression, I'm thinking.
Now here's a stat for you, or a trivia factoid. Under A-League rules, you must wear the same coloured compression skins as the kit.
I think that's. I don't think that's just A-League. I think that's football. Definitely in Australia, I've heard local matches, players being told they've got to take off skins if they're not the same colour as shorts and that sort of thing. So
you remember Miloš the Iceman Trifunovic wearing the long sleeve blue compression last season.
And the gold as well.
Indeed.
Trifunovic. Playing over in Kazakhstan now. So here's Shannon Cole. Chiming in the back, finds a pass to Hannah, but there's Bogard with a strong challenge. He rides a couple and gets away, and then Melling dives in and wins the ball, according to the referee. And Topper Stanley to Shannon Cole is a Wanderers player flat on his back. Maybe Hannah from that challenge from Bogard, still recovering. As here's Clisby chipping one towards the back post, and Jack Duncan takes that one nicely. The 23-year-old in goals for the Jets. You heard that, as here is ball across the loudspeaker going off here at Cessnock.
$4 hot dogs, Ben.
$4 hot dogs.
That was worth stopping the game for.
I was in shock.
I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys.
Now, I have to comment on that Nigel Bogard run there. He beat at least 3 of the Wanderers players as he streamed up towards the middle of the field. Duncan cleaning up again nicely at the back.
And it was
there.
a great tackle from Melling as well. Once again there is it's Melling again across to put the pressure on Houle. Bogard now to Mullen. The last time the Jets conceded was over in China when they played Kitchee. It was a 4-3 win that day over in China. It's been 4-0 against Edgeworth, 4-0 against Melbourne City, and then 2-0 this afternoon. We've got a couple of changes for Western Sydney, which will take effect in just a second. When the ball goes out of play, we have a stoppage. Wayne Brown, that's lovely close control from the Englishman across the face. Trying to find, well, there was 2 and 3. There was Nordstrand and Houle with the bright yellow boots, but neither could get on the end of it. And Jared Tyson also in bright yellow.
Wayne Brown's been very impressive today.
Yeah, Jared Tyson on the end of it is back to him now. Under pressure from Kloot. Up and over the top. Yeah, Jared Tyson, just 16 matches in the A-League. He played for the Wanderers in 2012. He went over to Hong Kong with Sun Pegasus and played for Perth last season before joining the Wanderers. As we see a couple of changes from Western Sydney. Jonathan Aspro is going to make way, and it's going to be Abdul Rahman Kuku. Now, unfortunately, Joel, we're talking about this pre-match. Alexander Coco and Abdul Rahman Kuku, that they're both not going to be on the pitch.
It would have been lovely, Kuku on Coco.
And number 27, Emilio Martinez, coming from the ground, and 39, Lachlan Campbell on. So some experience with Topper Stanley there with a couple of youth players from the Wanderers, just to give them some experience. And while you can look at the negatives that the Wanderers are playing some youth players this afternoon, in terms of competitiveness for the Jets, it's a great experience for them, these youth players as well. They played in the NPL2 competition, the Wanderers youth side. They finished second. Sydney FC won that competition. So the second tier NPL in Sydney. Lachlan Scott, who is not playing this afternoon, had an outstanding season for them. That's why he was promoted to the A-League side.
Disappointing not to see Lachlan Scott. He scored a few goals.
I was surprised, Dave, that he didn't make the trip. He scored in the match against Edgeworth.
What's going on here?
I should say no, he didn't score in the match against Edgeworth. He scored 2 in the match against Wellington. Did Lachlan Scott.
Referee seems to be checking with the sideline about an offside or some other foul. David, did you see?
No, I didn't quite see what went on there, but Nigel Bugard, Nikolai Topple-Stanley and Jason Hoffman are over there.
They've got a stop work meeting going there as there's 10 minutes left in the second half.
Good opportunity for the Jets to take some fluid on board.
Well, this is, and you don't normally see this, the assistant referee on the field talking to the referee about something. Maybe they're just ordering dinner for tonight or something. A referees meeting.
3 yellow cards for the match, but on the whole, I think the refereeing's been quite good. Free flowing generally, and the crowd wanting proceedings to continue with the clap coming along.
Yeah, so just going back to that Lachlan Scott starring role for the Wanderers in that FFA Cup match against Wellington. They were down 2-0 inside 31 minutes. And seeing one of the Wanderers players getting called over here. He's going to go into the book for a yellow card.
Yellow card for number 31.
It was Cuckoo, and now, well, Hoffman's been sent off here.
A red card for Hoffman.
So Cuckoo gets a yellow, and then Hoffman is sent off, and I'm not quite sure what that's for. I'm not sure if you two saw it.
The crowd's in dismay here, trying to understand what has happened.
And Clayton Zane's going to have a chat to Daniel Mullen just to restructure the Jets at the back. There's Jacob Melling on the ball at the back for the Wanderers. Yeah, Lachlan Scott with a couple for the Wanderers in that 3-2 win after being down 2-0. Mitch Nichols grabbing the third for Western Sydney, the winner.
Kandarovski dropping back there into the central defend position.
Yeah, Mullen just jumping out on the right in where Jason Hoffman was. So here's Jack Clisby. Dave, do you have any word on what happened with Hoffman?
Yeah, just speaking with someone who saw the incident, it appears as though there was an off-the-ball incident between Cuckoo and Hoffman, and that's resulted in Jason Hoffman being dismissed.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that one later on, see what went on there. So here's Kandarovski. No stranger to the back line, Ben Kandarovski, who was there for some of last season. It's Bugard. To Hool. Just the first touch just let him down and allowed Campbell to come across and pressure him, but still the Jets with the throw as we're now into the last 7 minutes of the match.
One could argue that the silver lining for the Jets is that they have 7 minutes to compete under pressure with just the 10 men, and maybe that evens up the competition a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly, Joel. Good to look at the positives in that department. But the other thing is I really want to know what the incident is because, you know, it's not too bad. Do you really send them off in a trial match? You normally don't see too many cards at all in a friendly like this unless there is a really, really bad tackle or something that is very unsportsmanlike. So that's the only thing I can think that Hoffman must have done something quite extraordinary.
Seems that
in terms of suspension-wise, so of course this doesn't count A-League-wise, but do players suspended in pre-season matches, are they suspended for the next friendly? What?
No, I think friendlies are just taken as a one-off match between two teams. They're just sent off for the rest of the match.
So no repercussions then for Jason Hoffman?
There shouldn't be.
It seems that the linesman had the main call on that as the ref deferred to him.
Yeah, exactly.
He obviously saw something none of us did.
I hope for the linesman's sake he got it right as well. As here is Kandarovski.
With 5 minutes to go, the Jets are just looking to play this match out.
Here's Bogard. And also disappointing for Hoffman as well to be sent off. Especially with the new coach, Mark Jones, watching on as here's Cowburn down the left. Back to Hool. Steps away from Melling. Wide to Cowburn. And then Cuckoo. Across and back for Melling, who received it from Grozos. And now Clisby down the left. And he can't chase that one down inside the line. But overall, first half they were very impressive at the back end. Second half it's been fairly even. The Jets have struggled to break down Western Sydney, haven't they?
Not through lack of trying, but just not opening them up like they did in the first half.
And do you think the heat's playing a role as well?
It is, and that's a reason I'm surprised Clayton Zane hasn't made more changes to the lineup as the half's worn on. We've only seen the introduction of two. As Andrew Hill nearly is through. We've only seen the introduction of two substitutes into the match, being Devante Clute and Ben Kandarovski.
Do you think Mark Jones has had any say in what players he wants to see this afternoon or anything like that?
I wouldn't have thought so, only that Clayton's been in charge for at least 2.5 weeks now, and Mark's only flown in yesterday. But what it does do is give him a chance to look at the boys, most of them, for a full 90 minutes.
And not only that, I'd say that Mark Jones is quite familiar with a number of these players, having recently been here as an assistant coach. There's a number that are here that were here during his time with the club previously.
I just also want to give some praise to Clayton Zane as well. He's done a fantastic job the last 3 matches in charge. And probably what a lot of people haven't seen is the work he did with the Jets youth this year. This year in the NPL Northern New South Wales, it was the youngest Jets youth squad they have had, I think, ever. I'm pretty certain. they were expected to come in the bottom rungs of the ladder. They finished 6th. They had an outstanding back end of the season, and he did a great job. And just the confidence, someone like Christian Brymora, how he has come on under Clayton Zane's tutelage is great to see. It really is great to see. And being a striker, passing on that experience to Christian as well. May not see him this afternoon, but
definitely a testament to Zane on his work he's done there, and the Jets confirming that with a senior contract for Brymora on Wednesday this week, just gone.
And he deserves it. He deserves it as well, Christian Brymora. Scored 2 goals in the pre-season. 1 against Edgeworth and then 1 over in China as well. There's Topper Stanley. Across to Cuckoo, on to Melling. There's Cole. Abu Surhal. Clisby. Second ball he's put across the face towards Naja.
With no luck, Clisby, though. He's had a few breaks down the left there. The ball at his feet and time, space, but hasn't been able to do much with it.
Would have played at Perth with Jack Duncan, Jack Clisby, when he was over there. Melbourne City last season.
Some late changes here for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Shannon Cole, one of the substitutes.
Yeah, so
very late changes, 1 minute to go.
Yeah, Shannon Cole coming off, and Brenton Fox, who's been impressive as well. Matthew Lesh and Jerry Scott Tardis, just ensuring everyone gets some game time this afternoon.
He started brightly, Brenton Fox, but much and was very responsible for the very quick opening by the Western Sydney Wanderers. But as the game settled in that first half, Daniel Mullen, his experience, Nigel Bugard as well, they seemed to bring the young striker under control.
Comes back to Skatardis.
Okay. We've just had
Abu Surhal just has the ball nicked from him.
We've just had some feedback from Squadron Nova Castria at Newey Boys on Twitter, who said that he has watched the incident back, and unfortunately Hoffman was having his shirt pulled during that corner and has kicked out at the Western Sydney Wanderers player for violent conduct. That is a straight red card.
Yeah, and the assistant referee saw it, and the red card was given to Jason Hoffman as Mullen. So Andrew Naboo and Andrew Hill, there is definitely a handball, and the referee spots that one against Matthew Lesh, who just came on the ground. And I was saying this is the only player we haven't seen from the Wanderers in Noah Pagden, and he's going to come on for
Curse
Jack
of the
Clisby.
commentator. Right there, curse of the commentator.
Yeah, Jack Clisby coming from the ground. He moved to Melbourne City halfway through the 2014-15 season from Perth. The fateful season for Perth, where they had their finals berth stripped of them due to the salary cap issues.
And winding down now in extra time.
There's Melling. Gets clear of Clute. It's wide to Pagden. He gets his first touch for the Wanderers.
Jacob Melling is still on. He started the match as well.
Yeah, Jacob Melling's done a great job for the Wanderers and probably put himself in line for a start in the first side, but it's going to be tough to break into that side, that Wanderers side. It's a very deep squad. It's Jack Duncan under pressure. Gets it up towards Topper Stanley. No goals conceded since he's come on. No goals conceded or scored in the second half.
Which I think the Jets will be disappointed about. They would have wanted to follow through with another couple to really show the dominance over this more youthful team.
But for a couple of inches, it would have been Devante Clute with a goal. Certainly the best chance of the second half for both teams.
It's Cowburn. Now to Hool, and referee calls a close to proceedings this afternoon at Cessnock Sports Ground, and it's a happy homecoming for the Jets here at Cessnock. A 2-0 win over the Wanderers after heading away to Melbourne City last weekend and grabbing a 4-0 win. And this wraps up their pre-season matches, potentially maybe one before the start of the season, but a great start for them heading into round one against Adelaide United. As we said, 2-0 at half-time. They probably would have wanted to go on with it. But, you know, they got a bit out of this game, the Jets.
Yeah, they played well. It was good to see their energy maintained pretty much throughout the 90 minutes. Their fitness levels are very high, and it will put them in good stead for the first leg of the A-League. Yes, it is only pre-season, but winning breeds confidence.
That's 6 wins in a row now, so that confidence is certainly there, and they'll be shaping up for Adelaide under their new coach, Mark Jones, and we're all eagerly anticipating round one on Sunday, the 9th of October.
Now, boys, I'm going to just bring in a new segment here. Inspirations Paint Man of the Match. Who's it going to be?
For me, it has to be Hall. For his first half antics, he's dangerous, and he really dominated the back right-hand side defender from the Wanderers.
For me, I'm going to stick with the Inspirations Paint theme, and I'm going to go with Brown. Wayne Brown was the player of the match for me.
So does that mean I have the deciding vote?
Sure.
Well, I'm going to say I thought Brown was brilliant. I'm going to go with Hull, but I thought Naboo was very good. Brown was very good. Those three were the keys for the Jets this afternoon. They really were good.
Very good. Sounds like a typical Jetstream episode there where we all disagree on who we think is the man of the match.
Yeah,
Thanks very much for having us.
I was really impressed with Andrew Naboo, I must say. I thought he was great for the Jets, and his addition just give them just takes them up a little notch.
Certainly puts us in good stead for round one.
And
yeah.
Jack Duncan in goals, had a great game as well. Made a great save a minute into the game as well.
Yeah, which could have shaped the whole game very, very differently if he did concede. Clean sheet, great confidence for him, and perhaps, given the new coaching team, an indication that he should be the first keeper this season.
And is this a sign of things to come? First time the Jets have beaten Western Sydney in the Hunter region. Is it going to continue from now on?
Look, I think I'll be a realist here and say that we can't read too much into today's match. It certainly was a second-string Wanderers side. There were some first-team players in there, while that was a first-team lineup for the Jets. It will certainly give them confidence, something to think about next time the two teams meet. But no, I don't think we can read too much into today's clash.
There was no Mitch Nichols Thunderbusters from 30 yards out. Nothing like that to test the young keeper. But hopefully this season he'll stand up to all those type of threats.
Well, Joel Goodser and Dave Keating, thanks for being part of the commentary today, and thanks to Matteo and Labano and Mark Jones as well for coming up to help out with the commentary. So thanks so much to you two as well.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
It's been great. Thanks a lot.
And I've been Ben Homer, so thanks again here on Bar TV. The live stream brought to you by Inspirations Paint. It was a pleasure to bring it to you from Cessnock Sports Ground. Andrew Hull and Andrew Naboo with the goals to the Jets in the first half. It finished the Newcastle Jets 2, Western Sydney Wanderers 0.